Is the avatar born with all the 4 elements, or do they have an element from birth and the ability to master the rest? That question is way more complicated the more you look into it. I was originally going to say that the avatar is born with 1 element and the potential to master the rest, but then when Korra lost Rava, she still had access to all her elements, which was very odd and not properly explained. If she only kept water, then the answer would be simple, that she kept the element of her nation, but she seemingly had air too. So the prevailing answer is that she kept the elements that she had already mastered at that point, which was all 4. But what about the origin? Is an avatar just born with all 4 by birth? To be honest with you, I don't even know. You can argue that the avatar doesn't belong to any element, and you can argue they belong to the element of the nation they were born into. The Legend of Korra leads you to both answers and doesn't bother clarifying which one is correct, so I can't definitively tell you which one to go with, though personally I